Hey y'all, coming to you from the headquarters of ScottieDTV, and the reason is because I forgot to do an intro to Griffey's Corvette. I got excited, you know, his car is awesome. You wait to see it. It's a 54, they've been working on it for 6 years. You know he's getting ready to retire, you follow the channel, you know Griffey's getting ready to retire, he's winding down, and this was like, he'd never built a car for himself to that level. He'd built several for clients, won a lot of awards with clients, but never had one for himself. So they've been working on this Corvette. It turned out way nicer than I ever thought it would. Not because he's not capable of the work. You know he's capable of the work. But he downplayed it the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just going to be, you know, you hope to win his class, is what he said. And it turned out to be a grade 8. So anyways, let's check it out.
Mr. Griffey, you lied to me for 2 years. You told me this was just going to be the old average car, maybe go up there and win your class, you said. I don't even know if I can do that.
Well, Scotty, we started out to do exactly what you just said. It was to just build a nice driver car and maybe bring it up to Detroit. And somewhere along the line here over the last year or so, we kind of got involved with, we got sidetracked and got over on to really trying to do it as a Riddler contender. And hopefully we'll be able to achieve a grade 8 with it. Time will tell. We made a lot of changes to the car. This thing's basically a concept build-up of a concept car. General Motors made 3 of these cars in 1954. They were actually made out of 53 bodies, and they put the 56 top on it and the 56 roll-up glass in it. We went ahead and did that. I liked that look. I thought that was a look that a 54 body, 55 body ought to have. But we wanted it to be a hot rod look. We wanted the wide wheels. We wanted everything to look great on it as far as wheel tire combination, stance, and low ride. So in order to achieve that, we widened the car 1.5 inches on each side at the rear, and 7/8 of an inch on each side at the front, and proportional all the way through the body.
So you do that panel per panel?
Yes, sir. Every panel was cut in two. The whole car was cut apart all the way down the sides, and everything was taken off of it. Everything was added and then put back on it, along with a steel structure that ran across the cowl as well as in the rocker panels up the B pillars and across the back, because these cars never had a steel inner structure in them. They never had anything. They were strictly fiberglass until '63 when Corvette decided to put a steel structure in them. So we went ahead and did that for a safety factor because we want to drive the car some in the future. We want to use it at Good Guys. We're going to put it on the Good Guys road course a little bit this summer. We're going to play with it. We're going to have fun with it. Along with those modifications, we also narrowed the rear end 3 inches. We moved the rear wheel wells in 1 inch. We narrowed the front end a little bit, flared the rear wheel wells on the rear 3/4 of an inch.
But you did.
So there's a lot of little body mods that have been done throughout it. We incorporated an LS supercharged motor on it, and in order to do that, we had to modify the hood in order to clear that. There we got into the to the modification of the hood and put a cowl induction scoop on the hood in order to
and that would, to me, that was a trick too, because to add a cowl hood to a car like this, you can make it look funky in a heartbeat.
You sure
really
can.
Shouldn't have cowl hoods on.
No, and it was hard to, you know, make a decision, but we had to do something to get the hood up. We couldn't. We put the motor as low as we could get it. We still wanted to keep the exhaust and everything up in the frame, so we didn't want to drop the motor any further because we wanted to keep everything up in the frame. It was really tricky, and it's really close, but it's got clearance and it clears the hood and everything's good. But
And what color is it?
it is a 3-stage color off of a new Miata, actually. I tweaked the mid coat a little bit and put more coats on it to get a little bit deeper red look with it, but that's basically what it is.
And all the bumpers have been talked and everything's been lined
Everything's
up.
been pulled up, everything's been ground, the body's been built to meet the bumpers were ground to meet the body, and then everything was sent to advanced plating where everything was dipped in their chrome. And yeah, we custom fit all of the chrome pieces to the body. We welded the tops. Originally on the Corvette, the top of the doors had 2 pieces of stainless, and we actually chromed all the stainless on the car, but we welded those end caps together and made it one piece to get rid of the seam, made it a lot cleaner. It is running a double tube, actually it's a Jameson frame, and we made some modifications to that. That's a double tube chassis using a C4 front and rear suspension. I narrowed the rear 3 inches, cut the half shafts, pulled everything in 3 inches overall on the rear. We also added front and rear sway bars to the car for handling, which Jameson never incorporated into their chassis, and in order to do that, I had to cut the cross members out. I also made this car, it is a 4L60 automatic because my wife wanted it that way for her, but I also made this car capable of putting a 6-speed in it without any problems. I put 2 cross member mounts in the frame. I went ahead and mounted the clutch assembly under the dash and swinging pedal bolts onto it. So conceivably, if I or someone else wanted to make a 6-speed out of it, it could be done without any major changes.
Steve?
Scotty?
Man, I don't even know what to say, bro. I mean, I know every time I say I like this one the best, but
This one again, you've done something that, you know, I don't know, what is this stuff that you used in the center here?
It's actually a woven nylon with different colors in it, which brings out the color of this leather and the stitch in it. So thought it'd be something really cool and neat looking, different.
No, it is different, and it works.
Yeah.
And it looks like under the LEDs over there, it looks like diamonds.
I know, this is really, I mean, it really brings out that material and that thing. It's really cool looking.
No.
I mean, you always got to try something different when you're going to Detroit and competing for a grade 8 or, you know, be a Riddler contender.
Well, and Griffey told us he wasn't going to build, he's just going to build a nice car, take it to Detroit, this and that. So, yeah, no, I'm still in shock over this, and I love the speaker on this side, too.
Yeah, he's still got to do a little touch up and tweaking on that. He's going to fix and take it back to the garage here in just a few minutes as we get finished with the video.
No, I really like it. And, of course, you have to step up your game when you're going to Detroit, like you said. And obviously, we didn't know if Larry was going to make it or not. But obviously, he did, because we're in Detroit, and now I'm back here shooting. This is like, so you all know, this is where we're at on this car on Saturday. Before Detroit. So it's got to be in Detroit in like 4 days, and you'll see it doesn't have a hood. Griffey's over here working on it. Holden's still putting the interior in it, but no, I love what you did. I love the LEDs, but I really like how you did that from the center console. And
every piece of this is handcrafted, handmade. All the seats, you know, door panels, kick panels, every piece on it, you know, is handcrafted in 7 days. So I mean, it was some.
Well, that was the other thing. Yeah, he kind of stiffed you on time too, didn't he?
Deadlines, you gotta love them, right?
And then you leather wrapped the dashboard.
It is. Everything's all leather wrapped and French seams with the same color French seams all in the seats.
What is that, taupe that you used?
It's actually called earth. The color material is called earth.
Wow, no, that stitching rocks. It fits perfect. I like how the trim is in the console in the middle, how the gauges are mounted. No, just beautiful job done by everybody. Man, I like what you did back here too. Very nice.
Clean and simple.
Yeah, but you carried, like you said, this has got a hard top.
It does.
And that these lines in the deck lid cover are going to match, because there's that headliner in the hard top.
Yeah, and it's got that same design in that, and actually in the deck lid underneath the front where the top bolts to, it's got these 3 lines in it also. So that theme carries through all of the pieces that's on the top of the car.
Oh, beautiful. And then you put a little more material back here just to kind of tie it all together.
Correct. Yeah, we want a little bit of color back here. And then Griffey had these right here handmade, so those was really cool and neat looking.
Right on.
And it's got the gas filter and things behind that lid.
Yeah, no, y'all did a beautiful job. Again, you know, Larry told me it wasn't going to be this level of build, but it's as nice a build as you're going to find.
Yeah, I think it'll do really nice. It's a sharp car.
Well, the engine started out as a 2000 General Motors LS1 motor. We decided to polish the heads. We decided to make this a supercharged car, and we incorporated the Edelbrock supercharger onto the motor. So it is a supercharged. It also has a Brian Tooley special ground cam for the supercharger. Headers, 2.5 inch stainless steel exhaust all the way back on it to help with the performance, let the gases out. So you're forcing a lot of air into the top of the motor, so we wanted to get the exhaust back out the back. So it runs out 2.5 inches back to the back, and then opens up to 3 inches coming out the back of the body. It's a 4L60 automatic transmission. 4L60E, and of course it has on the rear end, we put 373 gear ratio on the rear end, so it'll have plenty of punk when you mash on it, but yet you can still run 70 mile an hour on the highway with it with the overdrive transmission.
Should get you around the autocross track. I can't wait to see you in Columbus.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens.
So there you go, from Detroit Autorama 2017 and Mr. Larry Griffey. I'd say Griffey's Hot Rods, but he's retired. What a way to go out, you know what I'm saying? Just an awesome dude. I've always been a big fan of Larry, and I can't tell you how happy I am to see his car here and turning out. It's the first time he's come to Detroit with a car, so just very cool for me and everybody that's a fan of Larry, and we're just glad to see it happen. Hope you all have enjoyed it. See ya! Oh, you can dim me and bright them too?
Yeah, I've got them on steady right now.
Okay. Now they're blinking. And that's on dim?
Yeah, it's on dim.
Okay, put them on bright.